These are not U.S. military drones. Again, this is being investigated by local law enforcement. What our initial assessment here is that these are not drones or activities coming from a foreign entity or adversary.
You're telling me we don't know what the hell these drones are in New Jersey are? Is that correct?
That's right.
It's crazy. I mean, that's crazy. That's madness that we don't know what these drones are.
From the Coast Guard, who said that one of their 47-foot motor lifeboats was followed by between 12 and 30 of these drones as they went through the water.
These are 6-foot drones that are somehow evading our detection. They are not being detected.
They're saying no threat, but how the hell do they know? They don't know anything. They don't know what it is. They don't know where it come from. They don't know nothing.
They know that they can't track them. They know that they don't emit a signal. They know that they can't see them when they turn their lights out. They also indicated that they don't know where they come from. They don't know where they go to.
One family claims they followed a drone in their car, and while it hovered above them, the clock in their car changed times.
Some of the FBI agents that have been assigned to look into this have reported drones flying over their home.
It's right here over at Picatinny, there was a drone just hanging out. I put my drone up in the air and went towards it. I had full battery life. Not 3 minutes into the flight, I lost control of the drone. Warning on my screen, lost control, and my drone started going down dead.
These are fully charged batteries. It's 2 batteries that have died within seconds, and the drone went up and like a couple feet off the table, and then came right back down.
Okay, you see it? You see how it goes? See how it goes? And then it becomes a spacecraft or aircraft or whatever you want to call it.
What the fuck is that, bro? Did it just get smaller? Bro, what?
Above the ocean, and it was low, very low, but so bright and so clear, and it was huge. Like when you...
I'm concerned. I issued a letter to ask for more information, and I think there should be a lot more transparency about that.
Can you make that make more sense? Because I think people in New York and New Jersey see drones the size of an SUV over their house every night and think that doesn't make any sense.
I understand why people would be looking at this and being concerned about it. We're concerned about it too, which is why we have the Department of Homeland Security and the FBI. My goodness, looking at this, and we're taking it seriously. We
All right, we are here. We're going to do another mystery drone recap thing. Shout out the chat really quick and let me know if you guys could hear me. I'm somewhere different than where I usually am streaming from. Got Dust Bunny. Hello, 0987. Lewis patrolling my neighborhood with a rocket launcher, lol. Sunny Sandu, thank you for this info. Blue Jasmine, hello, party people. Telekinetic. Trump, the drone pilots were very good looking. Trump did have a weird affection for those pilots. Zapatos, MTR, finally made a live stream. Heck yeah, you did. Woo. Mike C, I found your channel about a year ago and binge watched all of your videos in a night or two. Thank you, man. Amazing content. Thank you. Kent Manor says, hi, guys. Mapleton says, I've given up watching the news reports because you wrap it all up with a bow with these updates. Yeah, there's a lot going on every day. I'm on day, I think, 5 or 6 of streaming. Dominic Nopefell says, yeah, Red Panda has amazing content. Thank you, guys. Master's here. Ocean Eyes is here. Dan Banks is here. Got a bunch of people in here. Jet Maxim. Eric's here. Ginger Turtle. The Lucid Institute. All right, let's get into it, guys. Ryan Dietrich. I did to us. You're famous, RBK. Everyone is using your clips. I know that one intro went kind of viral. That's pretty cool. All right, so I guess let's just get into it. Yeah, as I have on the thumbnail, we have Trump had some interesting statements about it today. Still confusion messaging coming from the White House. Maybe we'll quickly start with back to the White House. Let's do this. Here we go. So here's John Kirby, White House press spokesman, one of many. Let's just see what he had to say, and then we're going to get into what Trump had to say.
Flying over parts of the U.S. White House National Security Communications Advisor, retired Admiral John Kirby. John, thanks for being here. You hear all of these officials. You've heard a lot of concern, a lot of coverage. Where are you tonight on this?
As we look at the information we've got, Brett, and we've now examined some 5,000 different sightings, we've added detection capabilities, additional observers. As you and I stand here today, to date, our assessment is that this is lawful, legal, commercial, hobbyist and even law enforcement aircraft activity. Some of it's manned, some of it's unmanned. We absolutely acknowledge that a lot of these are probably drones, but they're flying legally, and it is legal to fly drones in non-restricted airspace as long as you're registered with the FAA. And there's thousands and thousands of these kinds of flights every single day. I think there's more than 1 million drones that are registered with the FAA just in the United States alone.
But this is different, it seems. These are bigger. They're 6 feet in diameter, a lot of them. There was a reporter the other day that saw 50 coming from the coast at one pack. I know when you first came out, you said that most of these are manned. Can you concede that maybe most of these are not manned?
Well, I said was at the time, and this was Thursday, when we were not as informed as we are today based on the resources we have applied to the problem set. I said many of.
And look who's here. We got Tupa Cobra here in the mix. What's good, Tupa?
What up? What up?
What up? I'm going to let this play through a little bit, but we got Kirby, the White House spokesperson. And Tupa has a pretty different take on all this stuff than I do, so this will be some good combo today. Yeah, I'll continue.
The reported sightings we believe to be manned aircraft. That was true when we said it on Thursday. We still believe, Brett, that some of these are in fact manned aircraft. I couldn't give you a breakdown of what percentage, but we do believe that still some of these sightings are in fact manned aircraft. We also acknowledge that a lot of them are unmanned aircraft. But again, our assessment to date, given all the work that we've done, the FBI, state and local officials, that these are legal and lawful drones flying for the common good.
Okay, the Homeland Security Secretary said over the weekend that right now they don't have any foreign involvement, criminal activity. We don't see them as a national security concern. How can you get to that point? How can you get to that conclusion with what you're seeing?
Because we've done the analysis, we've done the detection and the analysis, we've corroborated the sightings, and in every case that we have examined to date, we have seen nothing that indicates a public safety risk. There are drones flying over the skies of the United States every single night, every single day, and we've seen nothing in and around New Jersey that should give the people on the ground there concerns for their safety for this activity. And we've seen nothing working with the Department of Defense as well that indicates a foreign adversary actor involved or any kind of pernicious national security threat. Now, there have been some drone sightings, I think, as you know, over some military bases. We're obviously looking at that. That is a different category, and DOD has different authorities to deal with that. But again, we've also seen no disruption of operations at our bases in New Jersey either from any of this.
Okay, here's the president-elect today.
They know where it came from and where it went.
Oh, this clip has it in it. Yeah, so I guess we're just going to jump right to this. I was going to pull this up later, but this one has it in it. So let's see what Donald had to say, right? We still haven't heard from Joe Biden. I have the missing Joe Biden on the thumbnail. We need proof of life.
And for some reason, they don't want to comment. And I think they'd be better. And for some.
Okay, here's the president-elect today.
They know where it came from and where it went. And for some reason, they don't want to comment. And I think they'd be better off saying what it is. Our military knows and our president knows. And for some reason, they want to keep people in suspense.
What's your answer to that?
Well, I think it goes back to the first question you asked me, Brett. I mean, we have made an assessment.
Real quick, I'm going to pull up just the full Trump statement, just because that was kind of like a little edited version of it, just so we could all be on the same page with what Donald said today, because it was kind of the big news of the day, Donald commenting on it. Still no Joe Biden to be found.
Can you comment on the drones that are flying around New Jersey ports? It seems like the American people have a big distance.
The government knows what is happening. Look, our military knows where they took off from. If it's a garage, they can go right into that garage. They know where it came from and where it went. And for some reason, they don't want to comment. And I think they'd be better off saying what it is. Our military knows and our president knows. And for some reason, they want to keep people in suspense. I can't imagine it's the enemy, because if it was the enemy, they'd blast it out. Even if they were late, they'd blast it. Something strange is going on. For some reason, they don't want to tell the people, and they should, because the people are really, I mean, they happen to be over Bedminster. Want to know the truth. They're very close to Bedminster. I think maybe I won't spend the weekend in Bedminster. I've decided to cancel my trip.
received an intelligence briefing on the drones?
I don't want to comment on that.
Have you been
Do you have any-
getting
do you have any
regular
reason to think they're a
intelligence
threat?
briefings? Two quick questions. First, on vaccines,
All right, Tupa, what did you think of that?
Came from and where?
Dude, obviously he's taking it very seriously, and that's great. It decreases the chance that it's some random dudes in a van, and pretty much confirms that this is a military operation of some kind.
You think it's a military operation of some kind? Okay. Let's go
I
back to
think
the
that
other one. And you're
there's
kind of, can you turn up a little bit your volume? It kind of, and there's kind of a sound in the background too that usually isn't there. I don't know. But yeah, sorry, continue.
Is this a little better? So
Maybe.
There's just like too many of the drones are following FAA regulations with their lights, and they appear to be random military drones and commercial drones, if not straight up commercial airlines, like regular things that are in the sky. And it's random that the thing was able to get like such a fever pitch and kind of pick up, but clearly there's something going on. Maybe they're looking for something NHI related. Maybe they are masking a real flap, a real event. They're flying them out just to kind of cover it up. Something's going on, but a lot of the videos seem to show that they are just ours, but not known about.
Here, and people said they couldn't hear it. I think I found a louder one. Let me play it again.
Thank you. Good to see you. Good to see you.
Can you comment on the drones that are flying around New Jersey ports? It seems like the American people have a big disconnect.
The government knows what is happening. Look, our military knows where they took off from. If it's a garage, they can go right into that garage. They know where it came from and where it went. And for some reason, they don't want to comment. And I think they'd be better off saying what it is. Our military knows and our president knows. And for some reason, they want to keep people in suspense. I can't imagine it's the enemy, because if it was the enemy, they'd blast it out. Even if they were late, they'd blast it. Something strange is going on. For some reason, they don't want to tell the people, and they should, because the people are really, they happen to be over Bedminster.
Will you
Want to
shoot
know
them
the
down?
truth? They're very close to Bedminster. I think maybe I won't spend the weekend in Bedminster. I've decided to cancel my trip.
Have you received?
What are you thinking, Tupa, if you're in Bedminster right now?
Is this better? Is my microphone better?
Yes, your microphone's a lot better, and Donald came in a lot better. Cool.
Okay, cool. There was we're back, baby. I think it's strange. He announced his cancellation of going over there. He clearly wants to know what these things are, but he says that we know what they are. Huge.
And you're still, to be clear, you're still in the camp that this is all a military operation, right?
Yeah, my main theory. Now I'm open to all kinds of stuff. You don't get me wrong. I'm open-minded guy, but it does seem to me that it's checking off the boxes for a military operation or exercise that was known about by specific people, and those people leaked it to press assets as a upcoming UFO event and planted the seed so that everyone who saw it would interpret it that way, and those posts and those ideas would get boosted. And there was like a fair amount of preamble and precursors that were happening before too. So yeah, I see it as a marketing campaign and someone taking advantage of a very real exercise that is going to be explained and has a real, like, regular, source or cause. I could be totally wrong here. Now, I have seen things that you've posted that have me going like, that's
What
really
are some
serious.
of the things that make you go like, the most?
Well, like a lot of the, number one, Trump talking about it right now, because if it was like a nothing burger, he wouldn't be like, I'm canceling trips, and that's serious, right? And then also the plane crashes. Those are
that
bumming.
plane crash the other day? Yeah.
Those are bumming me out. Like those, that's where it's like, fudge. And it's sketchy. There's things in here that push it beyond what I think the scope would be to fit my idea, right? But I'm still looking out for it. And those things could be accidents or coincidences, but how coincidences are in this game.
Yeah, and something to that point too, which I'm open for any option right now, to be honest. I know it's a little dramatic over the weekend, like they're not human. That went hella viral. But we know people, right? And I kind of want to get Game Tick on here at some point. We know a few people who were like told that like there's going to be mass sightings during, they said October, but they were said all over the world and stuff. So it's like, how do some people know ahead of time, right? Because there definitely, I think that's kind of clear that there were some people who knew that this was going to be happening ahead of time, and like how and why, right?
That's why I feel like it's a normal, regular exercise by some faction of the IC and military industrial complex that just was like, oh yeah, we do these, we're testing these out. We have some, some, let's say, like low key vendors who are going to do some exercises and displays for us, right, of their drone tech, and they're going to display them and show us what they can do. Now someone hears about something like that and then just goes and leaks it to the press, and then you have this kind of hysteria around a pretty normal thing. And I think that's one of the ways we could get here. Also, aliens, totally possible.
Also, and in your neck of the woods too, right? You're in Oregon.
Yeah, that's weird too, bro. Like honestly, that I'm like, okay, pilots out here seeing all kinds of stuff. So yeah, spooked. Don't get me wrong, fair amount of spook level, and the fact that everyone's looking up now and like waiting to see something, that it has a little blue beam vibe to it. But
nice, and it's raining where you are. It was raining where I was not too long ago. But kind of to the point you were talking about a military exercise, we'll just run with this for a bit. These were airing recently, Palintir ads about drone swarms. I guess this aired at the Navy Army game or whatever. So we just kind of watch this. People were kind of pointing at this as like, oh, look, is this them saying they're behind the drones and stuff? 'Interesting timing for that ad to drop, right?
It's terrifying.
Yeah, honestly, it's pretty terrifying. And I think that was even a big talking point of like the Lu crew and all them even before this. Just like the Chinese drone swarms are something to keep an eye out for. Yeah, and ours too, at least now. Okay, well, let's continue then along here. I'm gonna pull up some other videos that we could react to. Is there anything other that like piqued your interest or mind?
Well, this is horrifying. I'm thinking for some reason the the line, that city they were building in like Saudi Arabia or whatever. It's just this like very narrow city that's really long. It's really interesting when you think about it in terms of like future warfare.
Oh yeah, and here I got this one too real quick. Here's a Chinese like ad that was going around. Let's see.
这是国内首次宽域飞行器返场试验。这是国际首次临近空间发射高速飞行器试验。
So yeah, and for people who don't know, Palintir is this like weird, I don't even know what they actually do, but it's kind of like this weird CIA data collection software thing that Peter Thiel made. And remember, he's close with Elon Musk, and Elon Musk was with Trump at that football game yesterday. So yeah, and then a super sticker from Will Brown said, or just with a sticker. Yeah, sorry. So if you guys didn't get that, basically this like weird CIA defense contracting company released that one trailer. Sorry, I didn't forgot to like. Palintir is still kind of an unknown thing. I still don't even really know exactly what it does. But yeah, that's what I just saw. There was some chatter about that online. Figured might as well covering all our bases here. Let's cover our bases even more. Here's a drone pilot. Here's a drone manufacturer, another drone manufacturer, right? We're just trying to cover all our bases. We don't know what's going on. Let's hear what he had to say last night, and then we'll get to some more statements from politicians today, and then maybe some interesting videos.
Company supplies sophisticated drone technology to the U.S. military. Jeffrey, what a perfect person to have talk about this today. I'm sure your phone is blowing up and you're getting questions all about this. Right off the bat, I'll just ask you, because you're in this world. What do you think is going on?
Well, I'll say it's probably not our adversaries. I don't know, any adversary that would actually use proper FAA lighting to display where they are. It would be way too easy to shoot them down. They're slow moving, they're big. So I definitely take adversary off the table right away.
That's interesting. I don't believe I've heard that before. So thanks for that. When you look at these videos, and I'm sure you've seen what a lot of people have seen online, can you identify what type of drones these are and what they might be capable of? Because one of the things that people were initially concerned about is that they were, not the drone that you buy at Best Buy or something. It's the size of cars, some of these.
Yeah, they do look much larger than a consumer drone. Red Cat has two products. We've been accused all week of possibly being the culprit. We have the only commercial drone swarm available for 80 drones that can be launched by a single operator. We also have a Flight Wave 130, which is a bigger drone that has very long flight time. And these drones that you're seeing in these videos have very long flight time. I can tell you right now, it is not us. Please stop calling me. So there's a lot of, that they're big, the fact that they're large, that's the only thing that seems really odd to me, as I'm actually trying to figure this out. But they should have remote ID if they're already flying with proper lighting. All drones are required by law to have a remote ID. And if you want to be a DIY investigator, you could always get a scanner product that's free on, free apps. And you could see if they're broadcasting down to you if you're near those drones, and you could become the investigator. I'm not close enough to where it's all happening, but it's pretty simple to see if they're broadcasting a remote ID that's required by law.
But you are close enough to the whole world that this is happening in, and what I'm hearing from you is what we are hearing from the federal government, that you're not worried that it's a foreign actor because they wouldn't come in using FAA lighting, but still
That's kind of interesting, under just a drone manufacturer's take. Let's cut to this one real quick, too. This is another interesting one. We got Michael Shellenberger weighing in, and everyone will remember, especially if you're been around these parts, that he recently testified at the hearing just over a month ago. The UFO hearing was November 13th. Just about a month ago, he was testifying all about that Immaculate Constellation stuff. Let's see what he had to say about all this drone stuff.
You have the president-elect and military base commanders all saying that the Biden administration is not telling the truth. In fact, we had Mayorkas and Kirby on Thursday and Friday both claim that there was no reported or confirmed drone sightings over military bases. It's been widely reported. There was a major investigation in the Wall Street Journal for many months, actually for many years, of drones being over military bases. They then said today, Kirby in that same comment, he said that they evaluated 5,000 cases over the last few days. It's inconceivable to me that they interviewed 5,000 people to figure out where they were standing, what time of day, where they were looking, to be able to dismiss all of these cases. Look, people do make mistakes. I think there's been a lot of mistaken sightings, without question, maybe a vast majority of them. But we obtained the conference call between the White House and New Jersey mayors today. The mayors are livid. One of them got up there and said, I had 2 automobile-sized drones hovering over my house, and they're making a lot of noises as opposed to a jet plane a very long distance away. So, I think it's a remarkable situation to have Trump demanding this. I think we can count on some transparency now. It's called between the White House.
Any thoughts on that, Tupa? If not, we're just gonna keep moving along here.
I always like Shellenberger, dude. But no, let's keep it moving. I'm curious of what you got cooking up over here.
Yeah, we're just powering through just the stuff of the day. And this is kind of I was gonna play this the other day, but might as well play now. Rosie Odonell's actually been having some interesting takes, of all people, on all this stuff. So here's her a few days ago. Here's her 5 days ago when it first started. So let's see what Rosie had to say about all this.
Can do horrible things. Why are you stressed? A lot of reasons. I was on a flight today, and I asked the flight attendant, had she seen any UFOs in the sky? Because she flies all the time. She's like, what do you mean UFOs? I'm like, you didn't hear about the UFOs all over the world and a tremendous amount in New Jersey and over our nuclear power plants? and nuclear power plants all over the world? No. Okay, I said. Do you have TikTok? No. Mainstream media is not covering it. So I said, well, go on TikTok and type in December 2024 UFO sightings worldwide. See what you get. And tell me whether or not you think there's a big cover up to not really talk about this on the mainstream news. They say the FBI is involved. Really? Good to know. They have no idea what's going on or what it is. Oh, they're drones. Supposedly, they're the size of a small car. They're drones. They're moving in ways drones don't move. UFOs, people, that's what it is, UFOs. But nobody seems to care.
So that's Rosie a few days ago, and then here was Rosie like last night. Let's watch this one. Rosie, the Rosie
It's a plane,
show,
not a drone.
the Rosie Odonell show with RPK.
That's just a plane, not a drone. Now, can we stop calling them drones? They're obviously UFOs, people. Come on. It's all over the world now. It's not just in a little thing in New Jersey. Just saw one from China today. It's all over the world. What do you think? That some country, Iran, has the capacity and the capability to monitor and fly these drones all over the world at the same time, doing the maneuvers that they're doing? I mean, not trying to scare everybody, but they're here. They're here. And the powers that be don't want to acknowledge that because that leaves them with a higher authority. Nobody's going to care about Trump or Putin or all of the strong men in the world who are dictators and cruel and evil. No, they're not going to have the power that they had. If this is true, the aliens are here. And they're obviously superior to us in many, many ways. Let's hope they don't want to just, blow us up. Let's hope. And I wonder why I'm not sleeping, right? But I think it's ridiculously head in the sand to think these are drones that are from another country that just happen to be all over the world at the same time. It makes no sense, people. It makes no sense. You can't be afraid to look at the truth. That's what I say. You got to face it head on, right? And what's the truth here? There are so many in the skies above our planet, and the government is not having daily press conferences to tell us what the fuck is going on.
Based Rosie, would you ever have imagined, Tupa, that when it happened, and I know you don't think it's happening, but let's just run with the believer thing that this is happening, this is NHI, that like our president would be MIA and we'd be hearing from Rosie Odonell more like straight shooting stuff?
Nope, not in a million years. Never would have thought about it. But here we are,
What do you think of her takes?
Well, she's clearly stressed out, and she's like, kind of an alarmist. So it fits that. But the idea that she's mentioning UFOs so much, almost kind of like as a joke, but still kind of, like, hey, why aren't we freaking out about this? She clearly takes it seriously. And I'm impressed with her knowledge and focus on it. Maybe her and Trump can patch things up.
Maybe they'll unite and give the speech to everyone. Okay, I figured we'll do some more little celebrity takes on it. Why not? Here's Aaron Rodgers, who after the next clip I'll say like we need to make sure he's safe and all. But here's him. I think a few days ago, 2 or 3 days ago, on the Pat McAfee show. This is right. He's all into it. Aaron's a UFO guy big time.
Do you know what's been going on in Jersey lately?
Well,
and I'm not talking about the football. Not just talking about the football. There's been some crazy things going on. There's some drones. There's some drones in the sky. Yeah, there's some interesting things going on. Interesting.
Like this is like every UFO person around their family and friends that aren't into it. Like, hey, you heard about
things with the drones. I don't know what's going on with them. Maybe it's just some kids messing around. Maybe not though.
Hold on, this is happening in New Jersey? This is a New Jersey thing?
Yeah, the New Jersey, there was a senator that just made a comment about it, keeping our citizens safe. They need to tell us what's going on, if it's military or non-military or UAP or whatever the hell it is. But there's people in Jersey, it's people interested what the hell's going on with these drones.
Oh, I seen your house that you bought out there on Zillow and Law Windows. You think they're going to potentially sneak down and kind of get a peek see of you? Are you guys doing anything? Are you putting up...
Do you know what's been going on?
Okay, and then so here's what his take on it was. He wanted to do this. Boom, boom, boom.
Are you putting up any different curtains or blinds or anything so these drones aren't buzzing the tower and maybe checking old air now?
I'm thinking about having a Friday night 5E experience where you call in you have a big kind of meditation circle, and then you call in the aliens and you use little green lasers to bring them in. So thinking Friday night, maybe doing if it's a nice night and it's a clear night, might try and have a little 5E experience, bring them in.
Okay.
Listen, I've never done an actual 5E, but there's a documentary out there called Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind. And I believe it's Stephen Greer, who's kind of legendary in this space. And they put together these experiences where they film it, and they do these nighttime things where they call in the spacecraft.
Is it like a midnight yell down there in Texas A&M when they're doing it?
I think so.
The rain dance.
I think it's a lot of that. Yeah.
Whenever you talk to these aliens, okay, when you talk to these aliens, please tell them that we at the Pat McAfee Show would like to talk to them. Okay, we would like to have a conversation with them, and we're okay if they can't talk our language. We'll.
So yeah, we haven't heard from Aaron Rodgers since he went to go CE5. He might have been abducted. No, I'm just kidding. But I don't know. What do you think of this, Stupa? And what are your thoughts of if you were, let's put us in New Jersey right now. Do you recommend people CE5?
Yeah, I do. F it. Go do that. CE5 is kind of a risky procedure. You're calling in on something. Your consciousness should be kind of sacred. If you got, good vibes around you, call them out. See what happens. I've never heard it be called a 5E before.
So confidently, too. I loved it.
I love that. So he knows what he's talking about, too. I mean, he knows enough. He's clearly watching the documentaries.
He's definitely in the mix. Okay, somebody in the chat wants us to go over the 4chan whistleblower thing, which I did kind of go over the other day, but we could just play a little bit again, too, because why not? There's new people coming in here. Have you looked at that 4chan leak in light of everything going on?
There's been so many leaks. Which one?
This is the one from like a year ago where the guy was like, it's an AI station offshore and they built him to spec each time or whatever. We'll just play a little bit of this, but I do find it an interesting kind of theory out there in the mix with all of this stuff. Okay, here we go.
Of what the U.S. currently knows about UFOs minus the last 2 years. UFOs are primarily unmanned drones. UFOs are built to spec each time they are deployed. UFOs are created by a mobile construction facility that hides in the ocean. Construction facility destroys anything that comes close to it and will disappear for days when approached aggressively. U.S. believes the facility has been active on Earth for at least 100 years or much longer. Fire away on questions. I'll answer what I can. You won't be disappointed.
Is it related to that one under rock in that one Scandinavian country? The one that deploys within tectonic spaces?
No. This one almost never leaves the Bermuda Triangle.
Does this have any relation to Oumuamua? Is there a working theory on the origins? If so, care to elaborate. Has any form of intelligible communication been established?
No. Quite a bit, but we think the construction facility has been around since at least 4000 BC. Sea sightings, paintings from the early eras of history. Yes, it also depends on your viewpoint. They mostly want very little to do with us until we start to talk about war and nuclear options. It's one of the reasons why you see them so often at critical events.
What is the main body of government that is collecting information on UFOs? The DoD, if so, which branch is the most active in collection of information?
It doesn't officially exist, and I won't use the internal name on here either.
Any relation to Antarctica?
My section monitored just this craft.
All right. So yeah, if you want to go watch more of that, and the actual thread itself is really long. Probably won't play the full thing right now. Go to my back channel.
Though. Damn.
Yeah. Pretty interesting thoughts. And we do have here estimate of the situation. Estimate. Let's do a sound check. How are you doing, bud?
What's up, man? What's going on, guys? Chupacabra, I come in peace.
What up, dog?
I'm gonna turn you up a little bit too, I think. So yeah, you're in New York. What's the temperature like right now in New York?
So it's kind of crazy, and like I can't stay too long, but Like if I go out to like a bodega, or if I go out to stuff, like I'm hearing people in the bodega talk about it, like, oh shit, that's crazy. Like the word UFO is being mentioned a lot more. I have people that I know that I haven't talked to in a while texting me, you know, because they're like, they think I'm like the UFO guy for some reason. They're like, hey, what do you think, man? What's going on? You know, are these UFOs, et cetera, et cetera. It's wild. Like usually like these people would never talk to me otherwise. You know what I mean? So the temperature here is it's pretty hot. It's kind of interesting to see it rise over the last couple of days, like from just like us talking about it on Twitter to like hearing it out in the street and the subway and all that stuff.
Yeah, and real quick, just to kind of refresher, here's a New York Congresswoman, Malliotakis. And actually, real quick, too, we got Anthony Jones, $5 super chat. I would pay $29.99 for a Tim Taylor documentary, The Man Behind the Real Program, The Hammer. That should be your 2025 project, Red. Maybe, yeah, definitely a mysterious character. I don't know if this is your local Congresswoman estimate, but it's one of them right around there.
What is happening is outrageous. Thousands of drones and unmanned aerial systems flying above us, and our government is not telling us who's operating them and for what purpose. I don't believe that the United States of America, with its military capabilities, does not know what these objects are. And what I'm asking, and what we're all asking, is for you to be straight with us and just tell us what is going on. As Vito says, this is creating havoc. People are confused, they're concerned, they have anxiety, they don't know what's going on. There's all sorts of theories that are out there. And the best way to address this is to just be honest and tell the American people what this is creating.
Yeah, have you talked to anyone in your like day-to-day interactions who's seen anything?
No, I haven't talked to anyone that's seen anything. But I will say that, you know, as much as the UFO stuff comes up, the whole like Iranian / foreign state actor narrative comes up a lot too. And maybe it's because, you know, we're from New York, but like people, the belief is that there is something flying around. And if it's not if it's not like NHI or something like that, a lot of people tend to believe that it might be something a little bit more nefarious than that. And, you know, they're a little worried. So it is a 9/11 town.
Yeah, it's literally the 9/11 town. And from your like, what's the majority? Or is it like half and half NHI, half like the US doing something, or is it like a third?
No, I mean, I'm hearing all of it, but like mostly that it could be Iran or it could be some sort of Chinese sponsored terrorist organization. And some people are, you know, throwing out the fact that they're UFOs and it could be something else. But I think mostly because of the jitters here, people are afraid that it's a foreign state adversary.
Yeah, no doubt. And again, like, did you see that Anna Paulina Luna? Let's pull that up real quick too. She like kind of doubled down after that congressman had said that thing. So I don't know if she believes that this whole Iranian mothership thing is like what's to explain it all, but there seems to be a sizable chunk, right? It seems like when that first happened and the Pentagon kind of brushed it away, I kind of thought like, okay, that was kind of a weird little blip in the radar of this whole thing. But there seems to be people who still are standing by that Iranian mothership story pretty confidently, which is pretty interesting. I can't find it right now.
I wonder who told him though. Who's the source? Because he said a high level source, right? Like someone told him that this could very well be Iran, if not outright telling him it's Iran. I think that person needs to be outed.
Yeah, I agree with that too. Because like that could have, I mean, and who knows? Maybe it is true. Because the way the guy said it, he felt like he was like, I felt like he was doing a service or something like that. But oh, here we go. I got this. So this is Anna Paulina Luna, who's been big on the UFO stuff for a while. Oh shoot. After the
I'm going to tell you the real deal.
So after this guy JVD, I forget his full name, she tweets this out: the fact that the Pentagon is trying to gaslight Americans and undermine Congressman this guy's credibility, Jeff Van Drew, there we go, is no surprise. Look at how they handled the Chinese spy balloon. So she's kind of and then mind you, she tweeted this like the day or two after he says this. We'll just rewatch it.
I'm going to tell you the real deal. Iran launched a mothership probably about a month ago that contains these drones. That mothership is off. I'm going to tell you the deal. It's off the east coast of the United States of America. They've launched drones, is everything that we can see or hear. And again, these are from high sources. I don't say this lightly. Now, you know, we know there was a probability it could have been
So yeah, and real quick, Beats and Meats with the super chat. If you put together the 4chan hamburger, I see the story along with the Reddit EBO geneticist from Baltimore story. It's a compelling case. DM me that on Twitter if you want. But yeah, so in New York, you're saying estimate that a sizable chunk of people are kind of buying into this narrative to explain it all, that it's a foreign power kind of snooping around.
Yeah, that or like they're looking for something, right? That it's us looking for something. And it just there's a page in the New York Times that just came out, I guess, like today. So it's hitting the New York Times. It's hitting, all the mainstream papers now that there's something over New York. So I only expect this to grow for the next couple of days.
Yeah, even during the week, right? I mean, over the weekend, there was even more sightings all around the country. Let's cut to this congressman. This one's from Tennessee.
Look, the fact that they're out there saying there's no evidence means that they have no knowledge. They don't know what this is. And yes, of course, some of these wind up being manned flight, but not 5,000. And what's really tragic or frustrating to us in Congress is that the FBI has known about this since the beginning of November. And we're getting informed, just like with the Chinese spy balloon, after the public sees it and raises concern. And that's really unacceptable. We're a co-equal branch of government. The Constitution's pretty clear, and they should have been communicating with us a lot sooner. And it's worse than just here in the U.S. I mean, we've had it happen over Ramstein Air Base in Germany. The DOD has the authority to shoot these things down. Northcom has the authority to shoot them down. And nothing yet has happened. And you can't find out what these things are until you get one in your hands. You got to get it, hack it, and download the data. That's the only way to discover it. DHS and DOJ and DOD have the authorities. They just haven't acted.
Do we have the capabilities?
Yeah, we have the capability, of course. I mean, we've learned a lot from the conflict in Ukraine. We're doing it at the border. DHS has about 2,500 incursions last year, and we can take them down at the border. But we've got to get this to the local law enforcement. And I have a bill in Congress. We're trying to push this thing through that will both extend the current authorities and also give that to local and state authorities. They need the ability and they need the authorization to do so. And that bill will do it. It's just 3 different jurisdictions.
Gotcha.
It's taking time getting it through Congress.
So Congressman Chris Smith of New Jersey, he said this yesterday.
I've written Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin asking the Pentagon to authorize the use of force to down one or more of these unmanned threats to uncover the mystery, bring them down and find out who's doing it. Knowing that drone warfare has radically changed warfighting in Ukraine and Russia, the Middle East and elsewhere, this is not the time to trivialize or dismiss the threat.
And so how likely is it that Congress would pass legislation then to give them the authorization to deal with something that Americans are really upset about? Just want to pull this up as well. Here are some New Jersey residents and what they said to the New York Times. I think it's like an invasion. I feel like our privacy is kind of invaded. Or the kids are all asking, what's going on? Why do we have to close all our blinds? What's real and what isn't? Personally, I'm exhausted. So I think that's a really good point, what you said. No evidence doesn't mean no knowledge. But is there some way that the government can reassure people so that they don't have their kids worried, especially if it's just an airplane?
Well, we know for a fact it's not DOD. I mean, if they were flying test drones or some agency of the federal government, they would own it. They'd say, yeah, we didn't alert people and sorry about that. And that would put an end to this. We know that's not the case. And we know all of them are not manned aircraft, because if that were the case, they would say so. So yeah, no evidence that it's X, Y, or Z, foreign or criminal. That means they don't know. And so they should just say that, and then they should say exactly what they're doing to try to capture one and find out what's going on. People want to see action. I mean, Americans will take, hey, there's a question mark here, but if you don't show action, like you're doing something, the Americans get frustrated. I mean, that's why we have a new administration coming in. They saw inaction at the border. They saw inaction.
Yeah, I apologize for interruption. We're almost out of time. You said
no, it's okay.
It's not DOD. Yeah. It's not the Department of Defense. So these rumors or theories about the U.S. Navy running offshore drills, you say that's not the case. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I do not believe that is the case. Now, they've not told us that specifically, but if it were, they would own that to basically help the American people settle down.
Yeah. Congressman, thank you so much.
Yeah. And so, yeah, Tuba, you think that announcement is coming, that it was all a drill, right?
Yeah, that would make sense to me.
So you're riding with Biden?
Riding with Biden. Him and I are lockstep this time.
The state of ontological shock is that Tupa is standing lockstep and shoulder, whatever the phrase is, with the Biden administration, White House, on the messaging about the drones. Great. Awesome.
I think he's taking my lead on this, actually. But
has anyone seen Biden? I haven't even seen him at like any not UFO thing.
Well, have you heard he's barely alive?
Really? Is that actually a thing? Like
That was from the national. One of the advisors on, I think, the National Security Council was on a hinge date, and it ended up being one of those undercover dates where they just get him. Yeah, and he's like, dude, the guy can barely say a sentence. I'm surprised it's not a bigger scandal than it has been so far. So, scary thought. I mean, also scary. That congressperson that you put on earlier said that there was a sighting of a drone by the Verrazano Bridge. Now, I'm telling you, like, the second a video comes out of any sort of drone activity that we don't know about near a bridge, this entire city is going to freak out. Like, that's horrifying to me. So, like, just hearing that. But if a video comes out with something like that sooner or later, then this whole city is going to demand answers.
Yeah, I mean, there was crazy videos over the weekend, 2 of them in DC and stuff, or yeah, that one of the drone falling. I don't know if you said that one. I wonder if that was in New York, if that would like really whip people up. I will say, like, because we're both kind of big on the history of it, and Tupa too with the timeline, which we'll definitely let's plug there at the end for a bit. I was going to say, oh, I don't even know, lost it. What do I want to show next? Oh, we'll show one mayor's response to kind of the White House messaging. Can we all agree that at the very least the messaging between the federal authorities and like the local state authorities is like vastly different? We'll watch this real quick. So yeah, this is a New Jersey mayor, and as we kind of played earlier and been showing, the Biden administration's kind of been saying it's all planes, more or less. Yeah.
Lawfully. All right, Mayor. Do you believe him?
So what that means, he's
operated lawfully. All right, Mayor. Do you believe him?
So what that means, he's saying that we're all seeing small planes, right? That's my take on that.
Yes.
I have to tell you, that's incredulous. I'm incredulous about that. That is ridiculous. I would invite Mr. Kirby to Mine Hill. Come on out, Mr. Kirby, and let's go on out one night about 9:30, 10 o'clock. I'll go out behind my town hall, and you can count them with me all night. I have a report that over here in Randolph, New Jersey, off Canfield Avenue, that over the valley, which is the town of Roxbury, I have a credible reference over there, a resident over there who told me there's anywhere from 30 to 40 a night, and every night they're in the same place doing the same things. So I have to say, Mr. Kirby, that's a lot of nonsense.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm kind of skeptical, just given the videos, and you're taking them. You're there. So tell me, first, a couple things. First, do they move like planes, or drones move differently than planes? We got a feel for that. And second, Connecticut Senator Richard Blumenthal says the government should shoot one down. What do you think of that?
I'm starting to lean that way myself. I can tell you, and neither of you are old enough to remember the game Pong, but when we were kids, Pong came out, and it's the ball goes back and forth and back and forth. This is the same thing. You look up in the sky and you see them, and some of them are just hovering and sitting. Sorry, that's not a manned small airplane. It's not a Cessna. And they go, in that video that you have of mine, over the east part of Mine Hill in the town of Dover, New Jersey, there's one drone sitting still, and it's pretty bright, and the others are going back north and south in an exact pattern. You can tell that they have GPS points programmed into them because they don't deviate. They go back and forth over the same thing. For him to say, when he says we don't have information that these are credible threats or various things, it's because we have no information. So if you have no information, you certainly can say whatever you want about what's being presented to you. That's really insulting to all the people here who are living through this.
Well, you are definitely not insulting us.
Man, he looks like he's seen some shit.
Oh yeah, I bet. And yeah, they're all insulted and whatnot. It's just a crazy time. It really feels like a 1966 flap or something.
Except they're shutting down airports. Like, they shut down Stewart International Airport because the FAA reported drone activity. Yeah, it's like, I don't think there's ever been a flap where they've actually shut down airports or anything like that.
Yeah, and it's crazy, right? They're acting like it's like no big deal, but they've shut down airports already. They've already prevented medical helicopters from medevacing people who needed it. Yeah, and then we did get more information. We did cover this a little bit yesterday, but we'll just recover it again. We got more reports of the airspace around Wright Patterson. Let's see.
Airspace was closed for about Wright Patterson Air Force Base. Airspace was closed for about 4 hours Friday night into Saturday morning after small unidentified drones were spotted near the base. Alexis Martin is at the alert desk with what we know.
The Dayton Daily News reports that the base says no property was damaged and no one was harmed. I went to the Wright Patterson Air Force Base. They were unable to talk to us, but we did talk to a few people who live in the area. Nobody I spoke with saw the drones Friday night, but they were familiar with the sightings on the East Coast. Tyler Morgan lives near Wright Patterson's Air Force Base and was surprised to find out the airspace was shut down for around 4 hours, and he was first hearing about it 2 days later.
I was kind of shocked to hear they made its way out here. I think there's a lot of unknowns. I think it's kind of weird. No one really knows what it is.
Alex Blankenship lives 1 mile from the base. She says after seeing the New Jersey sightings near the East Coast, she thought it was only a matter of time before they made it to Wright Patterson's Air Force Base. With limited information, people are trying to fill in the blanks. This is what Blankenship thinks about the drones.
I think that the government hides a lot of technology from us, and that this stuff is, it's getting harder and harder to keep quiet.
We reached out to the Wright Patterson Air Force Base and the Department of Defense. The Department of Defense told us to confirm with Wright Patterson, who we have not heard back from. We're working to learn if they believe these drones are connected to those spotted on the East Coast. At the Alert Desk, I'm Alexis Martin, Fox 19 Now.
So yeah, Wright Patterson in the mix now. That's Ohio added to the list. People are saying like, oh, it's not connected. Maybe it's not. Maybe it is. Here, we'll just play that audio too. We have of it. Yeah.
Patterson Tower, med flight 8, 1,900 feet, about 7 miles southwest of the field, like transition here, Delta northeastbound.
Med flight 8 Patterson Tower, use extreme caution for heavy UAS movement on the base. Security forces is handling the situation. Suggest at or above 1,700 AGL.
That we will maintain 2,000 and on our transition for med flight 8.
And I gotta keep the lights down so that security forces can see.
Roger that, no problem.
Position approved, sir.
Approved, med flight 8.
Med flight 8 Tower.
Ahead for med flight 8.
Hey, sir, you're still approved through our Class Delta. After you leave, Columbus is going to sterilize the Class Delta as of 0330 Zulu. Patterson Class Delta is closed after your transition.
I'm sorry about that. You got stepped on by other traffic. Can you say again?
Yes, sir. Your transition is still approved. However, Patterson Class Delta is sterilized as of 0330 Zulu for heavy unknown UAS activity. Security forces is handling it, and Columbus is going to sterilize the airspace after you leave the Delta.
Roger that. No problem. Thank you.
All aircraft use extreme caution. Patterson Class Delta is now closed for heavy UAS activity.
Right. Let's remove that.
Dude, I just got a
There we go.
text from a girl I used to date. I haven't seen her in a while, and the first thing she says, "So drones, expert opinion." Like it's just spreading like wildfire. This is crazy.
Yeah, no, and I think it's only gonna. I mean, if it continues more, like we've been interviewing people on Twitter and whatnot, and it just continues to continue. I don't know if you saw too right before the show. There was some reported. I think they might have closed airspace around Utah for some drones. I'm gonna try and pull that up right now if I can. If not, while we wait, let's do this too. I haven't watched this yet. This is Mick West. I guess he put out a little 3-minute video. We could just kind of react to it. That'll be fun.
Nice.
Yeah. Here we go. Drone madness. Yeah, there's
Come
there,
on.
lots of talk about hysteria and madness. And yeah, let's see.
Drones are real.
They fly in the sky, sometimes at night, sometimes they fly over military bases, and sometimes people get arrested for doing that. There are small drones and big drones. But there's no good evidence that any of the recent spate of large drone sightings in New Jersey are actually large drones. With practice, you can identify lots of things in the sky. Sometimes you use the shape of the object or its lighting configuration. Sometimes you use a site like Flight Radar 24 or ADS-B Exchange to see what aircraft are in that location or in that direction. Sometimes you look at what stars and planets are in the sky, and sometimes you look up satellites. Most of these need the date, time, location, and the direction the camera is looking in. Date, time, and location are the most important, and I often refer to these as the details, DTLs. In every single case where we have the details, in many cases where we do not, we managed to identify what was being looked at. In every case, it wasn't a large drone. This triangle drone was a C-130. This video of 8 circling drones was a bunch of planes circling in a holding pattern. This drone was a helicopter. This video of a mystery drone shot by a professional photographer was probably Venus out of focus. Those reports from pilots to air traffic control over Oregon were Starlink satellites. New Jersey Senator Andy Kim saw a lot of drones.
I don't know about that. I mean, you guys heard that air traffic control audio, right? The guy was like, it jumped from here to the ocean and back really fast. Never seen anything move that fast. So for him to just like be like, that was just Starlink. Don't know, Mick. Don't know. I feel like there's a lot of honestly reaching going on the debunker camp.
That's a good call. He's too dismissive on that one.
Yeah, because you've heard that audio, right? Maybe it's worth pulling up.
It is, and yeah, just because he probably looked it up and was like, well, Starlink was in the area in that direction, so that's what he saw. Like, talk to the pilots, Mick.
Yeah. Let me we'll play this real quick too, so we can jump.
Identified flying object over the skies of Western Oregon. The phenomena happened this past Saturday night, December 7th, and we spoke with the pilot of a life flight aircraft who, along with his crew, witnessed something they've never seen before. As Aaron Ariano shows us, you have to see it to believe it.
You can't really see anything, at least with this dark video of the night sky on December 7th, taken by Life Flight crew members. But Life Flight pilot Joe Bewley says it was there, and it was weird.
Red in color, moving at extreme speeds. I don't even know how to describe how fast he's moving.
You are cleared to maneuver as necessary, left and right, to avoid the UFO out there.
This is Joe communicating with air traffic control while he was piloting that Life Flight call to the North Bend, Coos Bay area. And the UFO in question, if you look closely on your screen, that little red dot that floats in and out of the video.
That was the one that was at our altitude that would come up to us and sit for about 3 to 5 seconds, and then it would go back out over the ocean, over the horizon.
He and his crew witnessed this mysterious object continue this odd behavior for more than 20 miles away for about 20 minutes total. This came after a United Airlines flight reported seeing similar mysterious objects zipping through the sky, ranging between 30,000 and 50,000 feet in altitude.
We're seeing 3 or 4 targets. They're all altitudes, up and down. It's pretty crazy.
One researcher suggests it's a light bouncing off a Starlink satellite over the Pacific Ocean, catching the eye of pilots, something that's reportedly happened before. But Joe says this ain't that.
I don't think Starlink, like I said, satellites don't typically change directions. But then again, I could be wrong, but I honestly don't think it was. I've never seen a satellite move like that.
I reached out to the Federal Aviation Administration to see if they can confirm this UFO sighting. They kept it short and sweet, saying a pilot saw unidentified lights. The good news is it's not believed Joe or his crew were in any danger as they continued to fly down to Coos Bay and back up to their station in Aurora. But the mysterious object popped up on his traffic collision avoidance system. He says that's not something that a light reflects.
Sorry. There's about, 3 or 4 pilots who reported that, different flight crews. So Mick West just kind of dismissing it all as...
Those reports from pilots to air traffic control over Oregon were Starlink satellites. New Jersey...
I don't know. And if you listen to the full audio, which I did put up on my backup channel, they're saying it's jumping from the ocean and back, So I don't know. Let's watch the rest of this from Mick, but I think that's kind of I don't know.
Senator Andy Kim saw a lot of drones, but he was looking at planes, something he later discovered. Former Governor Larry Hogan saw drones, but he was looking at stars and planes. These stationary drones over the Capitol were just normal incoming air traffic far away, so seeming not to move much, but they did move. A reporter claimed to see drones, but he shows video of what were obviously planes. I could go on, but the point is made. Every case where there's enough information, and especially with the details, the date, the time, and the location, what we see are not drones. If that reporter gave the details, we could see what aircraft he was looking at. The government is slow, and the military is both slow and cautious, but they've all started to come around, with the DHS and the FBI saying on December the 12th, "We have no evidence at this time that the reported drone sightings pose a national security or public safety threat or have a foreign nexus." Upon review of available imagery, it appears that many of the reported sightings are actually manned aircraft operating lawfully. There are no reported or confirmed drone sightings in any restricted airspace. Is it just mass hysteria, social contagion, a collective delusion? Mostly yes. Remember, there's zero evidence of any large drones in New Jersey, and dozens of confirmed misidentifications. Drones are a real thing, and they represent real security concerns. China is probably using them to spy on us. But what we are seeing here is really just a really large flap, just with drones instead of UFOs. Eventually, as no drones are found, it will fade from the public consciousness, but many die-hard believers, especially in the UFO community, will never let it go. But there's nothing here. There's no good evidence. And if you think you've got it, post your video with the details. Post the exact date, time, location, and the direction you're facing, and we'll check to see if it's a plane, a planet, or a...
So yeah, there's mixed take on it. Pretty expected, but yeah, I kind of dismissing. And even I don't know if you saw too, but I went and interviewed Ashley and Leo. They had like a whole nother sighting in the same neighborhood, the ones you interviewed. So I interviewed them, and they were talking about kind of too how like Mick West and some of these other skeptics like were really just kind of coming here on a mission, and like no matter what they said to him, like he was just going to debunk it, and that what he was saying was not accurate.
Yeah, was there new sighting in a different area or the same area?
Same area, but this time like closer to them.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna like end the stream with that, and you're more than welcome to stick around and watch it. Or I was probably just gonna like leave the stage. But is there anything else kind of really that happened? The main thing was really Donald Trump's thing today. Is there anything else you guys want me to put up on the screen real quick before we kind of close out here?
I thought the Donald Trump one was like the biggest one.
Yeah, let me play it again with you
because
because you weren't here. Let's play it again with you real quick.
I love the subtle call out for Mick West, like believers, especially the UFO community. It's like, man, come on.
Oh yeah. Okay, where was this thing? Sorry, the one I uploaded is like super quiet. Okay, here we go.
Thank you. Good to see you. Good to see you.
Can you comment on the drones that are flying around New Jersey reports? It seems like the American people have a big disconnect.
The government knows what is happening. Look, our military knows where they took off from. If it's a garage, they can go right into that garage. They know where it came from and where it went. And for some reason, they don't want to comment. And I think they'd be better off saying what it is. Our military knows and our president knows. And for some reason, they want to keep people in suspense. I can't imagine it's the enemy, because if it was the enemy, they'd blast it out. Even if they were late, they'd blast it. Something strange is going on. For some reason, they don't want to tell the people. And they should, because the people are really, I mean, they happen to be over Bedminster. Want to know the truth? They're very close to Bedminster. I think maybe I won't spend the weekend in Bedminster. I've decided to cancel my trip.
Have you received an intelligence briefing on the drones?
I don't want to comment on that.
Have you been?
Do you have any reason to think they're a threat?
Estimate, what are you doing if you were watching that from Bedminster? And what is your read on that?
Man, I would get the hell out of there. Yeah, I mean, yeah. It sounds like he was briefed, you know, like he's briefed as a president-elect, but like he said it's not an adversary, like it would be suicide. So I guess it's his belief that it's ours, right? Or I don't know. I actually don't know what to make of that, because there's so many mixed messaging there. I would be worried because he looks worried. So I think that's what I'm getting from it.
Yeah, for sure. Tupa, any other closing thoughts on this? And then I'm just going to let the interview I did with Ashley and Leo play out.
No, this is great coverage. Thank you for covering this to this depth. I agree. Estimate. It's the fact that he's even talking about it is serious. It elevates it a little bit here. Wild times, gentlemen. See you guys out there.
Wild times. See you out there on a Twitter space or something. Estimate, any closing thoughts?
No, man, just keep recording and keep looking. Like, you don't know, like 10 years from now, 20 years, like maybe 70 years from now, people are going to be looking back at these videos and, you know, like coverage such as yourselves, or like even videos you upload to TikTok or whatever, like that's all going to be part of the historical record. So, I mean, just keep doing it.
Yeah, thank you. That's why I'm kind of all activated too, right? Even if it does turn out to be a psyop or something, it's I don't know. I think especially with these sightings, and some of these people like hell of not feeling heard, which you know that's kind of like always been a thing. But yeah, we'll just kind of play this. You could kind of see the other one too, but I'm gonna go ahead and probably just start it and then take us off the screen. So thank you guys. I'm gonna let this play out. Thank you everyone in the chat. We're gonna be back tomorrow. See what happens tomorrow. Let's prediction just real quick. When does Biden say anything about the drones? Or are we just never gonna hear from him ever again? Is he just gone?
Oh, I think he might be gone, boys.
It's pretty crazy, right? That we're this far into it. We're a month into it, and we haven't heard from the president of the United States about these things flying over, you know, our airspace. Like what?
It's scary. Who's running the country, right? Is
Hunter.
Yeah, I guess so.
That was like the last thing he did, right? And then like we never heard from him since he pardoned Hunter Biden. Wow. But yeah, all right. I'm gonna take us all off the stage and let it play out. I'll see you guys on Twitter. Peace out, everyone. Woo.
You know, since you guys did see a really interesting one 2 weeks ago. Was that 2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah, about that time.
You guys want to maybe run through real quick? I know you guys kind of did it with Tupa already, but what you saw last week and if you think it was connected, and then we'll go into what you saw last night. Because yeah, the one you saw last night was pretty crazy too. And I'd imagine is it pretty much the same area?
Yes, very close in area. Yeah, like we said about 2 weeks ago, Leo spotted it first. It was just huge, that big white light.
It's just fucking hovering there.
That white thing on the top? That white dog?
There's no fucking way, bro.
No. I'm not scared, but that's crazy though.
It's just there, bro.
What is it, Daddy?
It's getting brighter.
Oh, yeah. I don't see it though.
You guys don't see what I see on my camera because it's so zoomed.
Bro, you still on the phone? Oh shit, they came back. Look at bro, they're coming back. The lights are coming back.
There's three. There's 3 aliens.
In front of me, bro, right in front of us. 3 aliens. Look. Oh, the other light's turning on.
Oh no. Oh, that's so big.
Oh, there's the other lights. What the fuck, bro?
Oh, it's okay.
It's gone. No, it's still there. It's still there.
It's hiding in the clouds. I'm zooming in.
That's what my brother said. In the clouds. In the clouds.
Yes, I'm zooming in, babe. I can see the saucers in my zoom.
I know I can see it.
You can see it, Zaid,
I
huh?
can barely see it. That's so crazy, dude. That's cool.
Bro. Oh no! Look to your left. Look to your left. There's another one to the left. Over here in the fucking trees. What the fuck, bro? What the fuck? There's one fucking there, bro. Over here, bro. Oh my god, bro. Oh.
Baby, don't move. I'm outside the truck. Don't move. There's a shit ton. Oh my god.
It's behind the houses now. Bro. Babe, you want me to pull forward? You see them, bro? You see them? Over there, bro.
My heart's pounding.
Bro, I'm fucking crying right now, bro.
Don't move, please.
Yo.
Bro. And it's funny that people are now saying it looks like these white lights are everywhere, those big white lights. And Leo and his brother, they were the ones that seen the one on the left-hand side. It took me a while to see that because I was so caught on the big white light one.
Oh no, look to your left, look to your left. There's another one to the left. Over here in the fucking trees. What the fuck, bro? What the fuck? There's one fucking there, bro. Over here, bro. Oh my god, bro. Oh.
So he
Yeah,
saw
so
that
in
one
that first
first.
one, and I sent Leo the speaker invite. In that first one, how many craft do you think are actually in the sky?
And the first one, it seemed about 7. Leo can speak on mine. That
Okay,
way,
cool.
because we're sitting with each other, that way the mics don't go off with each other.
Cool. So then, yeah, and the first one and the reaction from your kids and stuff is pretty compelling too. And I think
I'm zooming in, babe. I can see the saucers in my Zoom.
I know I can see it.
You can see it, Zaid,
I
huh?
can barely see it. That's so crazy, dude. That's cool.
I think even when it happened, people were like, remember Eric was like, that's one of the best videos I've ever seen. And who would have known that it was kind of like the precipice of this crazy wave we're seeing. What did you think as you saw more of these UFOs popping up around New Jersey and stuff after seeing what you guys had witnessed?
Well, that what we seen was pretty vindicated. I felt pretty vindicated, I guess, like other people are seeing, but even more and more people are seeing them.
And yeah, so in that first one, what do you think the UFOs are doing? They're kind of like, it seems like they kind of meet up. Do they combine in your view, or like, what do you think is going on there?
From what it looked from my perspective, it looked like 3 of them were going around that big white light. Like they were getting close to it and like getting out. It looked like it was pulsating and they were like getting energy off of it. And then over on the left side, it looked like there were some like, I don't know, just coming out of nowhere. I think they were all coming from that bigger one, maybe. What do you think, Leo?
Same. They're kind of interacting. That seemed to be kind of like the, I don't know, mothership or kind of like some kind of, they're all going towards it, getting energy. Interesting.
Yeah, because that big one in the left was way bigger than the other smaller things we were seeing.
And the smaller things you were seeing, were they kind of like what we were seeing in New Jersey, these like drone-y things?
Yes, absolutely.
Did you get a look at like the shape or anything like that, or they were all pretty far away and they kind of seemed like distant lights, or could you kind of make out any more details about any of those craft?
They were saucer shaped to me. I'm zooming in, babe. I can see the saucers in my Zoom.
I know I can see it.
You can see it, Zaid,
I
huh?
can barely see it.
Did you see them do anything like transforming or anything like that, or kind of the main stuff you saw them do is it seemed like go towards that white one and get energy?
Yes, we didn't see them transform or anything. We just seen them kind of go towards that bigger light. There was like 3 of them that were going around that big light, and then the other ones to the left are kind of just like popping in and out, I would say. And then that big one was just obviously sitting and watching, I feel like.
Have you seen also, I put up in the nest, this one was from last night in Phoenix, Arizona, where it looks like somebody flies out a drone to go towards one of these mystery drones and then the drone just falls out of the sky. Have you seen that one yet?
Oh, he's like right on it. Ooh, that whatever it was just shut down the drone. If that was a drone.
But before we get into your video, have you heard of anything else in Arizona? Because that's why I put that one up there, because I was like, oh, there's another Arizona thing.
Yes, in Buckeye, I've heard there's a lot of activity going on.
So what are some things you've kind of heard from people?
Just seeing the drones and the lights. I've seen some videos on Twitter or on X from some people in Buckeye seeing the same kind of stuff.
Oh, wow. And is there anything in Buckeye, like a military base or anything like that?
I don't believe so. It's just off from Phoenix. So it's how many hours away from Phoenix would you say it was?
2.
about 2 hours out from the big city of Phoenix, so more vast area like us maybe. So maybe that's why people are seeing them, because there's not so many lights.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, I guess then let's move on to this, the one you filmed last night, which I found like. Honestly, both the videos you guys got were like really good. This one's pretty gnarly. So walk us through what was going on when you filmed this and what happened, and anything you want to add to the testimony from both of you too. Lee, if you want to hop in more and stuff like that, please do.
He's watching the football game and participating as well. So this was actually Friday. Leo and my daughter, they were here while I left to go get pizza. And the moment I left, I was at that same stop sign area and I called him and I was like, it looks like there's lights again by the mountain. I was like, but I'm not too sure because they're a little bit lower. So maybe these could be cars or lights. So I was just talking to him about that. And then they just kind of disappeared. And I moved off of that because as I was driving down a road, I was watching the one that I recorded for a while, and it was over to the left of me. And it was kind of like in our neighborhood almost. And it was just kind of like a huge light just sitting there. And then I got off the phone with him and I rolled down my window and I started recording, and I pulled over and stopped, but I was on like a main road. So that's why I didn't record longer. But the moment like I stopped, it just took off, and I can't even explain it. Like I was telling him, I was like, it was still for so long, just like hovering. And then it just kind of just takes off out of nowhere and just goes. And I told him, I said, I don't know if you could go outside and look to see if you can see a plane or anything. And he went outside. He didn't see anything, but I was kind of a distance from him.
Yeah, honestly, it's kind of sketch. It's like when you stop, it seems to like, I would have been nervous that it was coming towards me or something. It looks like it's kind of like scanning the neighborhoods.
I was extremely nervous. That's what I told Leo last night. Actually, I told him, I was like, I was recording it and then I stopped and it was moving slowly after I recorded, and I was kind of watching, and I was at a stop sign and I took a right turn, and when I took a right turn, it was out of my sight and I kind of was like freaked out, and then I looked towards the left and then it just like took off faster.
Yeah, wow. If you guys had to guess, what do you think they're doing? I know like none of us really know, but like I don't know, what do you think they're doing all around the country and whatnot?
Observing.
Finding sweet spots. They're finding their sweet spots.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I asked Leo. I was like, if it's anything crazy, like something non-human that we don't know. Obviously, they found Bullhead City, Arizona, and that's like a small town that no one really even talks about. So they must be everywhere,
Wow.
whatever it is.
Yeah, they must be everywhere. Well, I did bring up Modern Lerper here, Libra. I never seen you before, but I did see you look like you're in Arizona and you also film stuff. Do you want to maybe well, actually, is there anything else you want to say? Let me get real quick from Ashley and Leo. If there's anything else you guys want to add to the testimony of the last night video or Friday night video, feel free, and then maybe we'll go over to Modern Leaper here and see what he has to say about Arizona stuff.
No, I mean, I'm just happy that I grabbed my phone and recorded it, and it was pretty still for a long time. I was watching it for a bit. It was pretty creepy. That one, even though the video that we captured prior was like more significant, that one the other night was kind of more scary to me, I guess.
Interesting. And did it make any sounds?
No, it didn't. The sounds it was kind of windy, so my phone was out the window and I was driving and then I stopped.
Wow. Yeah, it's kind of like I said, the way you when you stop, it picks up moving. I'm like, whoa, I'd hit the gas there. But yeah, okay then. Thank you. And I feel like honestly, bro, you're probably gonna see more stuff. I don't know. You guys keep seeing stuff out there, and now there's more videos from Arizona, like that drone one I sent y'all up in the nest. If anyone wants to go check it out. And that's something too. What's up in the nest is something we've heard reported out of New Jersey. Is people try and fly their personal drones near it, and then just like kills the battery and like makes them fall down and stuff, which is pretty gnarly.
It's right here over at Picatinny. There was a drone just hanging out. I put my drone up in the air and went towards it. I had full battery life. Not 3 minutes into the flight, I lost control of the drone. Warning on my screen, lost control, and my drone started going down, dead battery.
Ooh, he's like right on it. Ooh, that whatever it was just shut down the drone. If that was a drone.
Crazy.
Did you see the videos about them? Someone's driving and they're like they can hear noises on their radio station in New Jersey.
Yeah, I saw that, and I saw people saying that was fake or whatever. But I don't know, man. There's been a lot of real looking stuff that people have been hella quick to debunk. Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm curious. Did you have any of that, Ashley? You were kind of close to that one, especially on the second one.
I didn't have any of that, but I don't know. The music kind of delayed. The music, I guess that's something that I noticed when I was watching the video was normally if I record with like Snapchat or something and I'm listening to music, there's a delay for the music to come on. But I wasn't recording on Snapchat. I was recording off my phone, and there's never really a delay when you record with the music. So maybe that's something weird.
Wow, that is interesting. Leo, you want to get anything else in there before we move on to modern leaper?
No, I really don't have anything from what Ashley got from yesterday besides the video that she sent me. So I don't really have my point of view from what she saw. But just the fact that it was so close to the area from when we first caught that first video, it's kind of creepy. Like they're just around our little area here.
Yeah, and no one knows what they are, right? And that one, because I
Yeah.
feel like you guys filmed it from the same spot, but the second video, the UFO was closer to you guys, right, than the first one.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Now it's like
This
in
was
your
like
neighborhood.
Yeah, this was like above an apartment complex that's fairly close to us, and like there was no sounds, or else other people would have been outside to hear it because of how close it was.
Wow. Yeah, guys. And Leo, what's your and the last thing we'll move over on. But Leo, what's your big picture? Obviously, like none of us know. If you had to guess, what do you think is going on with all these UFOs around the country?
What do I honestly? I feel like something's gonna pop off eventually, but I just everybody's saying they haven't done anything to really harm human society. I feel like they're just testing the waters to see what our reaction's gonna be once they really start showing up and once we really figure out what they really are, and not just start calling them drones. But I feel like we're just sitting ducks for the moment.
Feels very like powerless, huh?
Yeah.
Well, and not to make everyone like all doomered out or anything, but we do have Omer down there who yesterday I did a witness testimony with, and he's out in New Jersey. He said they beamed a light at him and it caused kind of interference with his phone. And there's been reports of these things kind of like discharging some kind of mist into the ground in New Jersey. So I don't know what's going on with these things, to be honest.